have to always keep a real good grip of the beak, because that there is like a knife.
You wouldn't want to get that in the eye.
No.
Or anywhere else really. There's a lot of animals missing from Britain, and today we're taking a look at how an iconic bird is making a return: white storks. Last summer I caught up with Harvey from Celtic Rewilding, who are doing awesome nature restoration work. They got started breeding and reintroducing Britain's rare and missing reptiles and amphibians. While they're still very much doing this, they're now beginning a journey to bring back a species of bird which, well, quite frankly, would eat many of Celtic's other animals for dinner. But this is actually all part of the plan. Okay, so you might remember this shot from a previous video. I'm back here at Celtic Rewilding because today we're going to be checking out their project with storks. But as last time, they've got loads going on from what I remember. And here's the man, here's Harvey.
So we're on stalk feeding duty today. So there's a glove because you're going to need it.
Thank you.
And our storks eat better than we do, really. They have this specially formulated diet. Today they've got sprats and chicks, but other days they'll have venison, beef, they'll have fillet of cod, they'll have all sorts.
So Harvey, just in case people don't know exactly what you do, what in a nutshell?
We are rewilders, that's what we are at heart. But the thing that we do is operate this captive breeding centre. We specialised originally in reptiles and amphibians, the lost native species, but we also do loads of other work with different species as well. We reintroduced beavers, so we've now done beavers to several sites, and sort of the storks now are sort of the next evolution of that story. Principally though, we're consultants, so farmers, land managers, NGOs bring us in to just catalyse change and really kickstart rewilding. So yeah, we wear many hats and do lots and lots of things, all for accelerating the recovery of nature, really.
There you go. That's why we love Harvey and Tom as well. Like, Tom's not here today, is he?
No, he's a bit
and it's just and he's a bit hungover. And it's just the two of you here that are operating at the minute. It's just...
At the minute, well, we have a couple of employees as well who help us out. We've got a keeper and then a maintenance person as well. But in terms of the day-to-day stuff, it is all us. It's a lot of work. Yeah, so a bird with a 7-foot wingspan, something like that, up to 4 foot tall. So real big bird. One of my good colleagues, a lady called Rena Quinlan, you should definitely speak to her. She's really good. She works at NEP actually. She calls birds like storks and eagles and all the larger birds mega avifauna, so large bird species. And actually, the impacts that these have, although they may not be as dramatic as a beaver, for instance, the creation of these nests that can weigh up to a ton in old oak trees and things, we know it provides amazing nesting habitat for things like tree sparrows and for lots of other rare fungi and even plants up in the tops of these trees. So they really can be an important part of nature recovery. I think the interesting thing with us when we announced that we've got storks is people sort of were a bit shocked because they are an amphibian sort of predator. They eat a lot of frogs and newts and that sort of thing, so people thought it was a bit counterintuitive. But the reason we've got them is to show that that's the whole point of restoring our reptile and amphibian populations, is so we can have animals like this that are just magnificent back in the landscape again.
Yeah. In my experience, besides many rewilding projects going completely unheard of, they also go underfunded. Dedicated people like Harvey need support if they're to continue their work to restore nature. This is why I've launched the Curious Membership, an online community that brings together people who care about and those doing nature restoration work. The idea is that you get regular video updates from an ever-growing list of rewilding initiatives, learning from experts and seeing into the world of nature restoration. And the money is then distributed across the contributing restoration initiatives. We've only just started this, and I'm really proud to say that Celtic Rewilding are one of the early contributors. And if you wanted to take things further with Celtic themselves, they have their own Patreon where you can sign up for some seriously cool perks. These range from online meetings to discuss rewilding to an exclusive full-blown tour of their breeding facility where you can see and feed the storks yourself. As you can see, it's great fun. Links to all of this will be in the description of the video.
These are recovering from injuries now. So if I just carefully show you, you can see where the feathers were originally clipped. We don't know how this happened, but you can see that they're only just starting to regrow. So we're checking that, seeing if that part's healthy. But then we've also got to ring this bird as well. The ringing helps us identify which bird we're talking about, because the males and females are pretty much indistinguishable. You can't tell them at a glance. We have to DNA sex these birds, so they have been sexed, and we do that by taking a feather sample, and then that's sent to a lab where it's then analysed. So yeah.
So you have no idea how the birds ended up with this, well, the
No,
feathers cut?
not at all. So they've got a very interesting history. We were believed to, we've been told that they've come from Germany before Brexit, and were injured birds. But yeah, we don't know too much at all. But it is healing well, but you can see where the primaries were cut. So the purpose of having these stalks are, although a pair are going to be moved down to Devon to go to a rewilding project there, the 2 remaining pairs will be used for captive breeding. So we're going to breed the stalks, possibly even double clutch them. So that's where we hand raise some stalks, and then they lay a double clutch, it's called. They relay another set of eggs after we take the eggs and incubate them ourselves.
I see.
And then those young birds will be honed to be Staffordshire birds that we can then release. We haven't got a project as of yet, although there are lots of stalk projects now across the UK, so our birds can go to one of them. The thing is because these are adult birds, they will, if we open the aviary up now and let them fly, they would fly back to wherever they hatched from. So if that was Germany, they would fly back to Germany. And that's why we need to keep them in this aviary, so that their young will be British Staffordshire Stalks, so they will think this is home. So yeah, that's why these adults will never see the wild, unfortunately, but their young will.
Stalks went extinct in Britain due to a combination of factors. Habitat loss as well as hunting was central to their decline. A large bird like a stork would make for a decent meal, and it often formed part of medieval banquets. And they were also persecuted during the English Civil War because they were a symbol of rebellion. Until recent years, the last record that we had of a breeding pair here in Britain was all the way back in 1416, but thankfully, a full 600 years later, 2 breeding pairs were recorded at the Knepp estate following successful reintroductions. Storks and their nests are a sight to behold, and they very quickly become cherished members of a community, since they so often create these nests within urban environments. And thanks to brilliant initiatives like Celtics, hopefully this will become a common sight across Britain in the years to come. And last time we visited Celtic, we learned about their project to reintroduce pond turtles. Since then, this project has been moving forward, and Leaf Curious has actually played a part in this.
And I just really want to say thank you to all your viewers for supporting that. We raised somewhere near £4,000 off the back of that, and that actually allowed us to go over and import turtles from Bavaria. So I'm actually going to show you those turtles now. So yeah, we brought these back across last year. They came from the Bavarian reintroduction project. They're a very rare haplotype, so they're the same type of turtle that would have existed in the UK all those years ago, and pretty much no one else has this type of turtle, this form, and it means, yeah, we can now, these will see the wild within the next year.
This is exactly the kind of impact Leaf Curious should be having, and I believe we can do this a whole lot more. So do check out the membership over on Patreon. There'll be links on how you can get involved with all of this in the description. Check out the video that's on the screen now, but in the meantime, thanks for watching. Leaf Curious.